Jala Ashaye with a lake. Translation. On the outskirts of that city were many beautiful trees and creepers, encircling a nice lake. Also surrounding that lake were many groups of birds and bees that were always chanting and humming. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Since the body is a great city, there must be various arrangements such as lakes and gardens for sense enjoyment. Of the various parts of the body, those which incite sexual impulses are referred to here indirectly, because the body has genitals. When the living entity attains the right age, be he man or woman, he becomes agitated by the sex impulse. As long as one remains a child, he is not agitated by seeing a beautiful woman. Although the sense organs are present, unless the age is ripe, there is no sex impulse. The favorable conditions surrounding the sex impulse are compared here to a garden or a nice solitary park. When one sees the opposite sex, naturally the sex impulse increases. It is said that if a man in a solitary place does not become agitated upon seeing a woman, he is to be considered a brahmachari. But this practice is almost impossible. The sex impulse is so strong that even by seeing, touching, or talking, coming into contact with, or even thinking of opposite sex, even in so many subtle ways, one becomes sexually impelled. Consequently, a brahmachari or sannyasi is prohibited to associate with women, especially in a sacred place. The Shastras enjoin that one should not even talk to a woman in a sacred place, even if she happens to be one's own daughter, sister, or mother. The sex impulse is so strong that even even if one is very learned, he becomes agitated in such circumstances. If this is the case, how can a young man in a nice park remain calm and quiet after seeing a beautiful young woman? Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prashtatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu pyaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much again. We here in this section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we are going to speak about King Pranjana's agitation. Sorry, my main language is mother language is not English, and I'm not used to give English classes. So please forgive me for my English, but I will do my best. Yeah, this verse is actually on the surface describes a serene forest full of beautiful trees, creepers, birds, and bees. But beneath this poetic imaginary thing lies a deep allegory. This verse is part of the story of King Puranjana, as I said, a philosophical allegory told by Narada Muni to King Prachinabari. So the body is compared to a city, Purya, and the garden on the outskirts refers to sex impulse, a powerful force in material life that binds the soul deeper into our birth and death cycle. Yeah. Uriyastu Bayopavane. This is the verse. Divya Druma Letakule Nadat Vihangani Kula Kulahala Jalashaya. So, yeah, what is it really describing? The body as a city. Puranjana's illusion is described here. According to Bhagavatam, this section, the city is actually human body, and the king, the jiva, is living entity. The queen is the mind. The friends, gates, ministers, their sense organs. And now, this garden represents the sexual desire, enchanted trap of Maya Devi. So, just as a city has gardens for recreation, our material body has sensory organs that attract us to sense pleasure, especially kama, lust. And Srila Prabhupada says, because body has genital organs, when living entity attains the right age, he or she becomes agitated by the sex impulse. It's in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Even seemingly harmless garden with flowers, fragrance, chirping birds becomes the breeding ground for illusion when the senses are uncontrolled. So here, lust is described, the strongest note. Um this is clearly confirmed by Bhagavatam. In another part of Bhagavatam, I think it's 10th canto. Yeah. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus, he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of heart. This is called actually kama, disease of the heart. It's called hirdrogram. It means heart, and rogam comes from disease. So kama is described disease of the heart, and this disease is so subtle that it doesn't only manifest through physical interaction, but even through thoughts, glance, learning, imagination. Prabhupada says the sex impulse is so strong that even by seeing, touching, talking, or even thinking of the opposite sex, one becomes sexually impaired. Yeah, to cure the heart disease of lust, one should worship whom? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. And here, kama, material desire, is literally referred to a heart disease, hridroga. Just as physical heart, let's think about it. There is a heart disease, silently grows until it causes a collapse or stroke, but right? And lust creeps subtly within the consciousness, growing over time and eventually uh, disturbing one's spiritual life, we can say. But unlike a physical illness that primarily affects the body, This disease affects the seat of consciousness itself. Chitta or heart. Our perception, motivation, and identities, these things are disposed. And karma is so dangerous. Srila Prabhupada emphasized that karma is not just physical thing. It is subtle. It operates through sight, darshan. We say just by seeing the opposite sex, agitation begins. Shravana, hearing their voice or praise can awaken the desire. We hear about somebody, and this desire awaken, can be awakened. Association, being close or in conversation, creates mental involvement in that sense. And thinking, manana, even mentally remembering or imagining interaction fuels the fire, we can say. And remembrance, recollection of past encounters can reignite our dormant desires because these things, uh, like impressions, my spiritual master always say, these uh, impressions are so strong. Even you don't remember what it is. It comes in a moment when you look at the mirror and you shave or you are doing something else, and this thing comes from your childhood. You never remember before, but one time it comes. Yeah, impressions are there. It's there, sleeping, and one time they come out. So it's very, very strong. Srila Prabhupada says, even by seeing, touching, talking, coming into contact with, or even thinking of the opposite sex, even so many subtle ways, one becomes sexually impelled. So, what's the disease? Disease actually is not confined to the gross body, it is active on the Manomaya Kosha, mental platform, and Vijnana Kosha, intellectual layer of our being, we can say. So it is also described subtle karma. Actually, this is where it becomes even more dangerous because while gross actions like illicit sex are clearly visible and easier to detect and avoid, like subtle karma hides behind the respectable appearances under the guise of appreciation, emotional bonding, aesthetic admiration, and service mood. Even that can be tainted, we can say. One may think, I'm just being friendly, I'm not doing anything wrong. But internally, the mind may already be fantasizing our identity of or identifying our enjoyment. This is why Lord Krishna warns in Bhagavad Gita in the third chapter. Avritam Gyanametena Gyanino Nityavarna Kamarupena Kanteya Dushpurenanelanacha. Thus, the wise, living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his external enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied, which burns like fire. So, which is never fast satisfied and which burns like fire, this karma. Even jnana, spiritual knowledge, can be clouded by subtle karma. A person may know the philosophy, may be learned, very much learned, but if their heart is not pure, lust can mislead their intelligence and justify even improper behavior. Like we have so many examples in our uh, scriptures where great personalities fell down, like Shaubhari, Muni, after performing tapasya underwater for thousands of years. And he was in peaceful meditating, and in his meditation, one time he opened his eyes and saw two fishes coming together, mating, and immediately overwhelmed by lust. It's in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We can read this story, but we are not going to do in details, but we know the example. And there is another example. Vishvamirta Muni. He is a powerful rishi, but he fell for the Apsara Menaka and lost his spiritual potency for many years. He got this potency for many years austerity, but Menaka, one moment, everything went. Even Bharat Maharaj, although not due to karma, but material attachment to a deer, actually, showed how dangerous even small contamination can ruin our all spiritual practices. We can think even, such exalted personalities were vulnerable. So what to speak of us? So we have to be very, very careful, dear devotees. So what should we do? What is the remedy? Actually, in our practice, we learn we cannot suppress the things. Actually, we cannot suppress the things. We cannot put everything under the soil and live our lives as if nothing is there. No, it's not possible. We should. Our philosophy is based on replacing or transforming these emotions into pure emotions. So there is this saying, real bhakti is engaging the senses in the service of master of the senses. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam hirshikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. So this verse is very famous. So this is the cure for the disease, not suppression, but transformation. And Srila Prabhupada beautifully says, if one must be attracted, let him or her to be attracted to Krishna. This is real love. So karma, when we take it into, I mean, when we talk about karma. So what we talk till now, karma is not limited to actions. It exists even in subtle desires, thoughts, and emotions. It's called hridroga because it corrupts the heart's pure love, hridroga, heart disease. Even the learned and renounced personalities can fall like prey without self-examination and association with the opposite sex, even if seemingly innocent, must be handled with shastric caution. And we can say the only real protection is devotional absorption, filling the heart with Krishna Katha, Krishna Seva, and Krishna Nam. So, in Bhagavad Gita, it's a very famous section of Bhagavad Gita. It is explained, this is like science. It is explained very scientifically by Krishna to Arjuna. From contemplation on objects, attachment arises, and from attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises, and which leads to delusion and ultimately destruction of intelligence. This is how a simple garden becomes a battlefield for jivas fall down, we can say. And Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, uh, He says, it is said, if a man in a solitary place does not become agitated upon seeing a woman, he is to be considered a brahmachari. But this practice is almost impossible. Why is it so hard? Why it is almost impossible? Because karma is rooted not just in the senses, but in subtle body also, in mind, ego, it's there. And i- it's written in Manusmriti, I think. One should not sit in a secluded place, even once with own mother, sister, or daughter. Srila Prabhupada is quoting here. For the sex impulse is so strong, it can agitate even the learned. And Chanakya Pandit says, attachment to woman is that. We can say, we can take it, attachment to opposite sex is that. And this is not actually Chanakya Pandit say to condemn woman. Rather, it's a warning about the power of lust, which can affect both men and women. Actually, we should understand the scriptures in the right context. Sometimes, as men, we can take it. Oh, this is for me. This is women are this, and we are like this. No, no. We should take the shastra in the right context, and we should understand what Srila Prabhupada is saying, especially. In fact, in Mahabharata, we find that even rishis and devatas fall down due to lust. So there is a lot of stories. And celibacy is not just external renunciation, but internal purification, we can say. And even for the wise practitioner, the turbulent of senses forcibly carry away the mind. In Bhagavad Gita. We learn this these basic things in Bhagavad Gita, in especially second chapter. So second chapter and third chapter. So how do we control this powerful force? When we talk about brahmacharya, most people immediately think of external things, celibacy, the practice of abstaining from sexual relations. But Shastra teaches us that this is just outer layer. Real brahmacharya is an inner discipline, a transformation of one's consciousness and desires. So we say it is purification. Okay, without inner purification, desires can be really dangerous. And we can say a person may avoid physical interaction, but still indulge in mentally through memory, imagination, or even subtle emotions are still there. And that's why Srila Prabhupada actually warns here. One who is celibate externally but contemplates sensual pleasure internally is a hypocrite, we can say. So Krishna's actually this verse is very, very, very nice verse. Actually, it is Krishna's mercy to all sincere devotees. He is warning us that inner vigilance is essential. So, and there is another critical point there. The senses can be temporarily suppressed or subdued, but if the heart is not transformed, they will find new ways to express these desires. For example, the devotee may avoid physical contact but develop emotional dependencies, or a disciple may avoid illicit sex but become obsessed with the idea of romantic relationships, or developed ego, pride over being celibate. Right? We can be uh, proud of that, and it will harm also our devotional life. And also, one may engage in service, devotional service, but secretly desire recognition or affection from the opposite sex. She is doing or she is doing the service just to attract the opposite sex. This is not brahmacharya. This is kama. comma in this quiz, we can say. And yeah, it says in Shastra, one who seeks knowledge must be a brahmachari. Uh, One should not allow the mind to become attached to woman. So yeah, this is like real brahmacharya. It is mental victory, we can say. It's conquering the mind, not just enduring physical suppression. So because we also see uh, we can somebody can restrains the senses but still dwells on sense objects in the mind is called pretender. It's in Bhagavad Gita. This is really strong. We don't want to be hypocrites. We want to be, real followers, real disciples, real devotees of Krishna. So how do we develop this internal brahmacharya? Actually, this is by higher taste. Param drishtva nivartate. Unless the mind finds something more attractive, it will always return to objects of previous attachments. So also another thing, association of sadhus. Sadhu sangha keeps our heart anchored, and yeah, one should associate with affectionate sadhus who share the same spiritual aspiration, we can say. And third factor is engaging the senses in service, we can say. True brahmacharya is not just no to sex, it is yes to Krishna's service, we can say. We should use our eyes to see, look at the deities. We should use our ears to hear Harikatha, Krishna Katha, and we should use our tongue for Krishna Nam, reciting Krishna Nam and taking prasad, and our hands for seva, service. And Prabhupada says we should not try to kill the senses. We should purify them by engaging them in the Krishna service. Hanumanji is a real ideal brahmachari in that sense. He's celebrated as a perfect brahmachari, not because he's simply abstained, but because his mind, speech, strength, and desire were fully offered to Lord Ram. He never wasted a moment in indulgence of his senses into other things. His focus was single-pointed devotion. Ram, 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 Ram. And we can see, yeah, actually we should see every woman as our mother, every object as meant for Krishna's pleasure, and every opportunity as a chance for service. This is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. So conclusion, actually, when we come to conclusion, the brahmacharya is gateway to actually fearlessness, clarity, and ecstatic devotion. So these qualities, celibacy, purity, tolerance, prepare the ground for bhakti. It's said in Bhagavad Gita. And bhakti, uh, how do we transform these unwanted emotions? By param drishtva. The only solution is higher taste by engaging the senses in the service of Krishna, and in that sense, lust transforms into love. And vacho vegam, manaso krado vegam, jiva vegam, udaprasta, udarapasta vegam. Yani he who controls the speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. It is in Nectar of Instruction. So another thing is actually we should beautify the soul, the real thing, not the garden. This verse reminds us the most dangerous traps come from or come in the most beautiful packages. Like a lake surrounded by flowers and birds sounds peaceful. You can imagine that. But if it awakens lust, it becomes a battlefield for the soul. So we should pray in that sense. We can say, "Oh Lord, oh Krishna, how many times I've served lust, cruel master, yet it never fulfilled my desires." This is prayers, famous prayers of Yamunacharya. And Srila Prabhupada said, we've come here so many times to have sense gratifications. And Prabhupada said to his disciples, I just want one thing from you. One thing. You just give this life to me. You have given your lives one after to Maya. Just give this life to me, and I don't want anything else. So this is what we should do. You know, we enjoyed our senses for so many lifetimes, again and again. We chewed the chewed. Chewed the chewed, chewed the chewed. Srila Prabhupada says, chewing the chewed. So we were chewing the chewed, chewing the chewed. But what's there? What's the point? We should do this lifetime at least something meaningful, so we can dedicate our lives to Krishna and become true disciple of our spiritual master, dedicate our lives to Krishna's service and go back to Krishna, because it is possible only if we dedicate ourselves. And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, made it possible for everybody, for all of us. He opened the doorways, doorways of Goloka Vrindavan to us. We just need to take it. We just need to take it and serious in Krishna consciousness, dedicate our lives into Krishna's service. It doesn't matter we are Brahmachari, Grihasta. We can do service, and if we are desire, if we have sincere desires, Krishna will give us opportunities to serve him in wonderful ways, in many ways. So my conclusion words, dear devotees. Yeah, Maya is so strong. She can come in so many beautiful ways, so called, but we will be strong enough, and we will say no to Maya's full packages, and we can say yes to Krishna's beauty and Krishna's what Krishna is offering to us. Thank you very much. If there is any question, I can take a couple of minutes more, but I will end here. So this is a wonderful verse. Thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu, for me to meditate on this topic. It was really meaningful for me and helpful. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
it is my own purification. I can take it. I'm not here to speak about Bhagavatam, but I accept this service always for my own purification. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
I'm very grateful to Prabhuji. It's 5:30 a.m. when Prabhuji started the class and gave us his time and association. It's a good time to learn from our senior and sincere Vaishnava. So those devotee who wants to ask question, they can raise hand, or I can translate on their behalf also if you have question in Hindi or in other language as well. I have one question, but I will ask later when the devotee wanted to ask. I want to give them one priority. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Well,
Yeah, I think devotee because they are our regular devotee, so they don't have any question because every time we are serving this. Yeah, Anumataji, you can ask question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Panchang Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question that you have mentioned about subtle desire. So there are some subtle desires in us, and we think we don't want this or that. But when the time came, when there is a rain of sense gratification, at that time we fall, and our mind became so strong, and it became so stubborn, and our mind is also forcing us not to chant, not to do association, and not to hear. So at that situation, what to do, Prabhuji? Please guide us. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question, Mataji. This is very this is the same problem actually. Many people are suffering, and it was in it was also in Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna was talking about his mind. Mind was so strong. How to control the mind, and subtle desires actually are there also for name, fame, comfort, sense enjoyment. These may not be obvious like gross gross things, but they are actually acting in the background, and they sabotage our sadhana, we can say. They whisper like, just relax today. You are doing enough already. You can chant later. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says these subtle enemies are more dangerous than the gross ones because there is a mask behind it is like harmless. And as I said, the mind is not always our friend. The mind says not to chant or not to do sadhu sangha. That's exactly how conditioned mind works. In Bhagavad Gita, it says, for ones who conquered the mind, it is the best friend. For one who failed to do so, the mind remains the greatest enemy. So what to do? What can we do? We should use our intelligence, buddhi. You don't want to chant, mind says. Too bad. Really too bad. Then you don't want to do, spend some time on social media. We can say, no, instead of this, I will hear Harikatha. I mean, we should use our willpower just to start. The mercy will come and help us. I mean, if we try to this we can start from small, if there is this thing coming to our mind, we can chant even one round with full attention. Just we can try this, and or we can hear Prabhupada lecture for 10 minutes. Even if we don't want to do it or we don't feel like it, but after we do it, we feel nourished. This one round, very attentively, or hearing Prabhupada or our spiritual master 10 minutes, then many things will change in our mind, because there is these things in the background, but we can pray for the strength also. We can't conquer the subtle desires by strength alone. Also, we should pray for getting strength from Krishna and our Guru. We should every day pray. We should every day. Even if we pray dry, we should pray. It is said. So we are not pure at the moment, maybe. Why should I chant? We are not pure. You are not pure. Srila Prabhupada says, by chanting, you become pure. So we don't have any other choice, and we should protect ourselves from triggers. I mean, whatever is disturbing us, wrong associations, social media, doubts, avoid them like fire. We don't put our hands into fire, right? So we don't put our thoughts or desires in coming in touch with these things. So this is the best way, and you are not alone in this struggle. Every devotee is having similar things, and many devotees pass through it. The fact actually, you should be aware, and you should seek for help. And this question is showing me, at least, you are very serious, and you want to develop in Krishna consciousness. So that's very, very important. And holy name, remember, holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is much, much stronger than your mind. So you just get shelter of holy name, and even if it's broken attempt, chanting will win over the mind because you are in touch with Krishna directly, and you always get association of senior devotees. If there is any need, you just learn from them, take advices, and you will, you will, you will, you will let go like rocket in spiritual life. You will advance.
Hare Krishna.
That's
Well,
my
thank you
humble.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'm grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thanks, Prana.
He is a very wonderful devotee in our e-temple and managing the e-temple in so many ways, Prabhu. Thank you for
Prabhuji.
your answer.
I'm
So
sure.
we
I'm sure.
take last question from Tulsidas Prabhu. He has raised his hand. And there is one other question from Amra Akne.
Ji, Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a request. Please shed light on the relationship between Krishna and his maid servants, his dasis, and please tell me how Shri Krishna himself declared and described this relationship. Ji, Hare Krishna.
Okay, could you repeat it again? It was coming and going, your voice. Relationship with
Okay,
Krishna
ji.
and his
Yes,
mates.
yes, relationship between Krishna and his maid servants. And also tell me how Shri Krishna himself described and declared this relationship.
Okay.
Ji. Yes.
Actually, it is very intimate topic. I mean, who are these Krishna's maid servants? Krishna's maid servants are manjaris, are young gopis, actually. They're usually younger than Śrīmati Radharani, and they are helping Śrīmati Radharani with complete devotion. They are not independently enjoying with Krishna. Their greatest happiness is to serve Śrīmati Radharani and Krishna's loving pastimes. I mean, the best known manjaris, these maid servants are Rupa Manjari, then Lalita, Saki, Vishaka, Rati Manjari. These actually, this is not in, how to say, this is not, it's actually pure service. The Manjaris do not want to have a personal association with Krishna. They want to serve Śrīmati Radharani so that they can please Krishna. This is called Bhava Seva. I mean, service performed in the inner mood of devotion. If Śrīmati Radharani smiles, I will smile. If she cries, I will cry. I have no existence apart from her. They think like this. So their relationship is through Śrīmati Radharani, and they see themselves as property of Śrīmati Radharani, not Krishna directly. They what they do, they decorate Śrīmati Radharani before meeting with Krishna. They arrange the forest of Kunj for their meeting. They bring messages, arrange pastimes, and stay nearby, but never interfere between Srimati Radharani and Krishna. They never desire to touch Krishna. Still, Krishna is actually having wonderful relationship with them, because why it is so intimate, I said, and it is very exalted. Their position is very exalted because their mood is free from personal enjoyment, full of selfless love for Srimati Radharani and Krishna, and yeah. Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, as I remember, maid servants of Srimati Radharani are most exalted devotees. Their love surpasses all, he says. And is it for everyone? No, it is very elevated rasa. Only after a good sadhana, bhakti, awaken naturally, actually. It comes through the mercy of our Guru. But we should know our sadhya. My spiritual master always says, what is sadhya, what is sadhana. Sadhya is the goal, and sadhana is the tool to attain this goal. So we should practice our sadhana bhakti, what Srila Prabhupada gave us, and our Guru Maharaj will, by our Guru's mercy, we will come to a stage to actually serve das anudas anudas anudas, because this is our position. We don't directly going back to Krishna. We serve Krishna's servant of servant of servant of servant of servant. So this is our position. We are servant of Krishna's servants, and these are manjaris, and we want to get this manjari bhav at the end of our spiritual practices. So this is the relationship between Krishna and his maid servants, in short, because it's very intimate topic. We can say many things. We see devotees are writing books on volumes about it, but we should focus on our sadhana bhakti at the moment. We should chant, how to say, sincerely, do our sadhana nicely. We should do seva. Whatever is needed, we should take responsibility according to our time and according to our availability. And by time, we will come to a point that we will understand this intimate relationship between Krishna and his main servants. But we should understand first Srimati Radharani, Radharani's servants, and she has also others. The servants has servants and servants of servants of servants. It's going like this, and it comes our Guru Parampara, and then we should serve our Guru and Srila Prabhupada in sincere mood. Then everything will be revealed to us by time, if we are sincere. Thank you very much for your question. I hope it serves the purpose.
Thank you so much, sir, Prabhu, for giving answer, and very kind and understandable answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So we have last question from Emre Akne Prabhu, and then we will continue with the Nrsimha Arati for Amrish Prabhu and end the session. Yes, Emre Prabhu, you can ask.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the lecture. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I just want to carry on with the issue that Kumari Mataji mentioned, this subtle desires, which leads us to postpone our daily spiritual duties. Yes, of of course, there are times when this subtle desires comes to, for example, when our first duty is to get up early in the morning, namely at 4 o'clock. There are times the subtle desires say that, okay, get up 5 o'clock today, or sleep 2 hours more, maybe, or but it's not like this. Okay, it's not like this. I have nothing to do throughout the day. I'm free, and I postpone my spiritual duties in this free context. It's not my position. Most of us have some other daily duties. Most of us have some jobs, and it makes room in our head, some other duties, you know. There are times when I get up in the early, do Mangala Arata, and as I start to japa meditation, there are some issues in my head. My to-do list for the day, you know, and there's crowded in my head, and it really affects adversely my japa performance, and I know this, and it turns to such a thing. Okay, let's do this japa in this 2 hours period, and then start to my job. But it's what's the word? It's not good for my Java performance, because I know that there's something in my head, and okay, let's do it quickly and start your job, okay? And therefore, a subtle desire comes at such time and tells me that, okay, please postpone your Japa duty, and do your material job, finish it, and then perform your spiritual duty with your relaxed head, and gain the best performance, for example. So this kind of subtle desire is friendly or not? This is my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question and details. Actually, yeah, this is, as I said to Mataji, this is a really sincere approach and real problem, and this is very common for devotees. Yeah, subtle desires, they whisper, finish the task first. It's more urgent right now. Chant later when you are relaxed. Actually, these things, actually, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada says us, material duties can wait, spiritual duties cannot. I mean, spiritual practice is like breathing. You don't say, I will breathe after. First, I will finish my emails. So it's not like this. If it's like 4 o'clock, if you get up 4 o'clock, you are ready for chanting. 4 o'clock, you cannot do anything else. What will you do? The office is closed, all other people are sleeping in the world. So we should just start chanting. When we start chanting, it will stop our thoughts. We should start chanting like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we shouldn't, we should put on our focus what we are saying. And for mental distractions, I can say you, You can keep a small notebook nearby. When the thoughts comes, pause for 1 second, write it down, and continue chanting. This will tell the mind, I heard you, I will do it later. But over time, you will see these thoughts will come and you will take down and take notes down, and the mind will stop shouting because it knows you are in, he's in control. Actually, you are controlling the mind, so you catch him and you will do like this. And also before chanting, short prayer is always helping. Let me humble and Krishna focused. This and that's why we chant generally Shikshastakam prayers before chanting our japa. So it helps us to be focused on japa, and we should trust the process. Even there is a distraction comes. Holy names are having the power to get them away. So this is a short answer because the time is already over, I think. I will stop here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful class, for your time, your association. We know it's very early in the Thoki, but you sacrifice for the devotees. So we will end our session here. Before ending the session, if any devotee wants to leave, they can leave, no problem. For 2 minutes, we will sing Nrsimha Arati for the health of Amrish Prabhu, and we will end the lecture. Okay. So we will do Nrsimha Arati in one tone only, no repeat. Okay. Namaste Nrsimhaya Lalādaya Hiranyakasi Purvaksava
Ito Nrsimha Bharato Nrsimha Yato Yatmaya Nrsimha Bahire Nrsimha Vidaya Nrsimha Namadim Sharanam Prapage Tava Kara Kamala Naka Adbhuta Shri Hiranyakashipu Tanu Brahma Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish
Jaya
Hare
Jagadish Hare
Jaya Nrsimha
Jaya
Dev Jaya
Nrsimha
Nrsimha
Dev
Dev
Jaya
Nrsimha Dev
Jaya
Jaya Dev Jaya
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj
Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad
Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Hari
Jaya
Bol Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol
Hari
Hari Bol Jai
Jai
Hari
Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jai Jai Nrsimha Dev Radesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki Jai.
Jai Sri
We
Nrsimha
pray
Dev ki
to
Jai.
Sri Sri
Hare
Nrsimhadev.
Krishna.
We pray to Nrsimha Dev for the health of Amrish Prabhu. May he will get well soon. We complete the project and the dream of Srila Prabhupada Temple of Vedic Planetarium along with all the devotees. So thank you once again, devotees, for your time and association. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhuvai evacha patitanam pavane bhayo Shri Vaishnave bhayo namo namaha Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda जय श्री
Jai.
राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय श्री श्री
Jai.
Jai
गौर की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय
Ki
नरसिम्हा
Jai.
कृष्ण प्रभु की जय
Jai
जय प्रभु
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you
Krishna
so much.
Krishna,
Thank you very
Hare Hare,
much.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
थैंक यू
Rama,
फॉर योर
Hare
टाइम
Hare.
हरि बोल